Hi, this is Steven, and this is Maya 2016. If you've never used Maya before, or any 3D modeling and animation software, it can be a bit overwhelming, to say the least. Even when you've been using it for some time, there's still corners and crevices of the program I've never explored. And to be honest, I think in the industry a lot of people are specialists of one area of the 3D and world. So I think there are generalists out there, but what I'm saying is when you're learning Maya, it's overwhelming. Don't feel like you have to know every single tool and feature in depth to be able to use it. And in this course, we're going to discover parts of it. We're going to scratch the surface of the program. In this tutorial, I want to introduce the interface here. So, like any program, it starts off with your menu bar at the top. A lot of menus. There's a couple that even go off the screen. Not very many. I think after generate, there's cache and help. Below the menu bar, there is a menu set drop down. Now the menu set will actually change what menus you see in the top menu bar. We're in modeling, so after the first 7, I think 1, 2, 3, after Windows, these are contextual, meaning these are going to depend on what modeling set we're in, or what menu set. So we have, you know, if you're rigging or if you're doing animation or rendering, you notice how your options change up here. So when looking at the interface, we have the menu set that is determined by the menu set drop down. I'm going to leave it for modeling now. This top line here, a lot of different icons, shortcuts. You know, you have new document, save, or open, save, that's undo. And a couple things, as I hover over an icon, you can see the shortcut. You can see I can open it up in the help, which is nice. Some of them will often have even a video, like this one here. You see, hey, there's a video I can watch about this tool. That's very helpful. Also, at the very bottom, there is a help line, which will give you a short description. So you have the pop-up and you have the help line, which I think when you're learning the program can be very beneficial. After a while, I think these can get annoying, but for us at this point, I think that's probably a good thing. So you can look it up in the help, and it goes to the Maya help, and it says, hey, this is what this tool is and what it does. Okay, so menu set, status line. These 3 or 4 in the corner are very important. This is your channel box, which when there are objects in the scene, you select the objects. It is a brief version of the attributes that you can animate, like position. You can translate the rotation, the scale, the visibility. Also, if any of you have used Photoshop or any program that incorporates layers, you can create layers in Photoshop or in Maya as well. You can hide layers, and it can make your scene more manageable. You have tool settings, which when we get into tools, you can change different attributes for a tool. And then you have your attribute editor. Now the attribute editor and the channel box are very similar, except that the attribute editor is much more extensive. Alright, so just know these are there. We will not get into them in depth at this moment. So the next section is called the shelf. You have shelf tabs, which give you a variety of icons depending on the tab topic. I personally find this a bit overwhelming in the beginning. So I think through this course I'm going to recommend we start our own custom tab, and as we learn a tool we might throw it in there. You can delete tabs. I have created another video on deleting and restoring tabs if you are interested in that. But these are just icons. Like this is a create a sphere. This is create a cone. So I'm going to delete those. The next section we have is this large box here, which is called our workspace. This is our 3D view, and this particular view is in something called a panel. Each panel will have its own panel toolbar, which and each panel will have its own camera. You can know what camera you're looking at by right here. It says PERSP. It's perspective camera. These are a few layouts. There's a 4 view, which will give you a perspective, a top view, a front view, a side view, and each panel, notice, has this panel bar, and it has icons. A lot of these icons are things that are in the actual menus there. I'm not going into any of these yet, just saying this is where you operate inside of your different views. And to go from a view, I will go ahead and mention this. You hover over that workspace and you tap the space bar. You don't hold it down, you just tap it, and that'll take you. Now I'm in the top view. To get out of that, I tap it again, brings me back to the 4 view. I can tap the perspective view. Okay, and as we begin modeling, it's neat to see it revealed. Now the top, front, and side views are what are known as orthogonal views, which don't have perspective, and that's useful when you're modeling. The perspective view, things get smaller as they go back, and we'll talk about all that later. Okay, the next section these are your most commonly used tools. It has your select tool. We have different selection tools where you can do lasso or paint by selection. Then you have your move, scale, and rotate. Those are the bread and butter of any graphics software, I think, especially anything in 3D. You have to move stuff, you have to rotate it, and to be able to scale it. These come with short keys. You notice this is W. Rotates, you think it would be R, right? No, it's E. And scale is R. I think they could have picked better names. But the idea is, I think it's in order on the keyboard. If you put your pinky on Q, you have Q, W, E, R. It's that way I can select something, hit Q to select something, W to move it, E to rotate it, and S to scale it. So that's kind of cool. That brings up a point that everything in Maya has a shortcut key. So be very careful hitting keys. It might flag or toggle a setting that you don't know how to unset. And you say, hey, my interface is doing strange things. I don't know what I did. You might have accidentally hit a control, some kind of letter that does something specific in some deep menu, and it may take you a couple hours to find out how to fix it. So don't be tapping keys randomly, especially anything in combination with Shift or Control or Option. And like I said, as we hover over these, a lot of these will have the shortcut key or listed. So, all right. Underneath this is our time slider. It took me a second to look at that because there's a time slider, which is the top one, which gives you an indication of where you are in time. These are keyframes. This is the range slider. This is basically what you see. This line is your command line where you can put in scripts on them. The last thing is the help line. We kind of already talked about that. So that's the interface. I will continue more specifically in subsequent tutorials, but this gets us started, and that's it for this tutorial. Thanks for watching.